Hi everyone! You probably already know that picking a niche can help almost every business on earth, but you may not know exactly why. So today, we're going to learn 10 reasons and benefits why you should niche down today. Welcome back everyone, I'm Alan, and on this channel we talk all things sales funnels and online business. Now, specializing, niching down, picking a niche, or whatever else you want to call it, the point is that picking a focus for your business is one of the most important steps you can take. Now, that being said, I understand and accept that many or even most marketers, businesses, and entrepreneurs just can't bring themselves to choose or to commit just to one niche and to say no to the rest. All of that is exactly why I organized the 10 best reasons and benefits of niching down in today's video. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we get started, we have to address the number one reason that most businesses don't niche down. And that reason is this phrase: I'd love to niche down, but my is different, so I can't. In other words, I'd love to niche down, but my offer is different. My market is different. My customer, my product, my service, my country, my city, my XYZ is different. Therefore, it doesn't make sense for me to niche down. The short story is that this excuse is absolutely false 99.99% of the time. Actually, I don't want to give anybody any leeway for excuses, so let's say this is untrue 100% of the time. The point is that once upon a time, maybe not even too long ago, it actually made sense to be a generalist, to offer everything and to be everyone to everyone. However, now in the internet age, or in the age of much higher competition and globalization, you have to niche down. Now, the first benefit of niching down is to stand out. Now, this means that no matter what you do, if you are a singer or a digital marketer or a coach or a fitness trainer or whatever, is that when your audience, when your prospects look that up on the internet or wherever, the problem is that if you haven't chosen a niche, then your name will appear next to 1 million people who are all making the same claims and saying the exact same things as you. Not to mention, I just mentioned globalization. So if your business is something that can be done remotely, which is many, if not most businesses, then you have even more competition every single day today as Eastern Europe and Asia and all of these other places enter the labor force and become competitors. You also want to stand out because most people are overwhelmed with options today, which is why many people's eyes, many consumers and prospects are trained to zone in on keywords that apply to them. So if somebody Googles personal trainers in San Diego, then you are going to see a billion people who all have the same website, the same promise, the same profile, the same experience, and so forth. But if one of them says, I am a personal trainer for new moms, or for busy CEOs, or for marathon runners, or for work from homers, or from any other specified niche, and you can also go way more specific than that, then those people will say, that person is for me. So again, if you want to stand out from the rest, then definitely niche down. The second reason to niche down is extremely important, which is to build trust. Now, for example, if your laptop breaks today and you really need to get it fixed. Now, let's say you Google it and you see 100 people that all say laptop repair. But what if one of them says Dell XPS laptop repair specialist? That might get your interest. Or M1 MacBook or something I think I've seen posted on the internet, or Asus laptops only, or whatever other brand you're into. The point is that when somebody sees, when a prospect or a consumer sees that you have a niche, that you are a specialist, then they automatically trust you more. Now, to be fair, any one of those generalist laptop fixers, repairmen, could have done just as good a job as you could have. But because you said that you only serve Dell or Apple or whoever, then those prospects will automatically trust you more. On top of all that, the fact that this person came to you to fix their car or laptop or whatever means they are much more likely to be loyal to you and to refer their friends to you. The third reason to niche down is to grow faster. Now, I know that common sense or intuition would tell you, well, doesn't it make sense if I have a bigger target audience that I would grow faster because there's a bigger pool of people to buy from me? Now, that makes logical sense, but it does not make practical or real-world sense. Now, let's say there are two businesses. One of them is targeting a big pool of, let's say, 1,000 people. However, the other business is only targeting 50 or 100 people out of that same group that the first business is targeting. Now, one might think that the person targeting the pool of 1,000 people has a better chance for faster growth since it's a bigger pool. However, because it's a bigger pool and that business is forced to market as more of a generalist, then they actually have significantly more competition. So on top of having a bigger pool to choose from, they also have a huge or a much bigger pile of competition. On the other hand, the other business that's only targeting 50 people out of that huge pool, now because they are so specialized, because their audience is so niched down, then they have a much higher chance of being selected by maybe many or even most of those 50 people. Now, the trick comes in when the smaller person or the person targeting the 50-person group, once they max out their availability or their capacity, then they have much more momentum to grow, much more momentum, many more referrals than the person who was only targeting the 1,000 person pool. So the point here is that traction and momentum are maybe the most important factors for business growth. So do yourself a favor and niche down to make your life easier. The fourth reason to niche down is to make your marketing and sales much easier. So we kind of already touched on it, that if you are aiming your offer or your ad or whatever at a pool of 1,000 people, then you have to be relatively generalist because you want to not exclude anyone. However, if you only target those 50 people of dog lovers or whatever, then your job becomes a million times easier. Your ads become easier to write. Your content becomes easier to plan and create. Your products become easier to create. Pretty much every single factor of your business becomes a million times easier when you niche down and specify your audience. The fifth reason you should niche down is for flat out enjoyment, fun, happiness, and ease. Now, all of this stems from some of the things that we've already mentioned, which means an audience that trusts you more. You can raise your prices. You can choose your audience better. Your marketing and sales are easier. So these are just a few of the million reasons or benefits why niching down makes your life easier, simpler, happier, and just overall more fulfilled. The sixth reason to niche down is to make competition irrelevant. Now, this is similar to the stand out point from earlier, but the point here is that if you are sufficiently niched down, then you shouldn't have competition anymore. There's a rule of thumb that I like actually, which says that if you have 5 or more direct competitors still, then you are not niched down enough. Some great books about how to differentiate yourself include Blue Ocean Strategy, Differentiate or Die, and of course I have a whole nother video on this as well here. The next reason to niche down is to be or become an expert. So like we said earlier, if you're targeting digital marketing, which is kind of a wide umbrella market, then it would be almost impossible for you to be an expert in digital marketing, which involves all of those things we've mentioned, like email marketing, webinars, sales scripts, sales pages, web design, and a million other things that we won't get into here. But if you only focus on one piece of that entire digital marketing umbrella, such as quiz funnels or follow-up email sequences, or Facebook retargeting ads, or some other specific sub-segment like that, then because that's so specific, you are capable of becoming an expert in that field, which raises trust, builds authority, and helps you to get customers, clients, and to make sales. The next reason to niche down is for referability and to be memorable. For example, if you say you are a general business coach, now that's fine, but if somebody meets somebody who needs a business coach, they're probably not going to remember you just because they've heard of so many other people who also say they are business coaches. However, if you say you are a business coach for new moms, or if you are a training coach for people who want to run a marathon, or some other specific goal and specific audience, then anybody who's heard of you before is a million times more likely to refer people to you when they meet somebody who has that goal. The next reason to niche down, which I've touched on a minute ago, is to be able to raise your prices and profit. Now, we already mentioned that choosing a niche increases trust and authority. This generally leads to a better experience and better results, which then means that you can raise your prices and your profits, and you can reduce your amount of clients if you want. For more on how and why to raise your prices, then definitely check out my video here or in the description below. The next reason to pick a niche is to pick one or else. Now, I hate to go this direction here, but sometimes you have to throw in a little bit of stick with all the carrots. So if I haven't convinced you to niche down already with all the benefits that we've already mentioned, then I should probably tell you that there are many downsides to not niching down. These include less trust and authority in your market. This also means more competition, more difficult marketing and advertising, more expensive marketing and advertising, more time spending researching audience and copywriting. The sad part is that even with all these reasons to niche down and all these arguments against not niching down, I know that there are still tons of people who will just refuse to niche down. And to be fair, that was me for a long time. So I understand not being able to commit to just one or being able to decide between a few finalists. But the point is that don't be one of those people who just can't commit or who doesn't pick a niche. And the absolute number one reason to niche down is to hit the like button and subscribe below. If you learned something interesting today, it does help a lot. For more help finding your niche, then definitely grab my free Find Your Niche checklist in the description below, which also has 100 niche ideas inside as well. Well, that wraps us up for today. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.